and insecurity.
Section 52 of the Electoral Act says you must never, and you can never send elections.
Presidential Election Petition Court admits electronically generated evidence, clarifying INEC's position on non-transmission of election results. Plus, ahead of the implementation of the Africa Free Trade Initiative, ECOWAS delegates brainstorm on saving the sub-region from drifting into a dumping ground. Good evening and welcome to Network News. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar in Abuja. Also on the news with me tonight are Hingina John Adams in Lagos and Naomi Abuaku in Maiduguri. President Muhammad Buhari has formally broken his silence over the recent attacks on his administration from certain quarters, saying those who politicize isolated incidents of insecurity are neither patriotic nor have the country at heart. The president stated these while exchanging views with a delegation of the Buhari campaign organization who are on a solidarity visit to the presidential villa. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports.
The delegation of the Buhari campaign organization, comprising the national and state executive as well as board of trustee members, was in the State House to interface with the president on the state of the nation and the best way forward. President Buhari, who appreciated their contributions towards his re-election, reassured them that the governing APC will not be disappointing.
I assure you and Nigerians that we will not relent in our efforts to secure the country from criminal activities. Those who politicize the isolated instance of insecurity are not patriotic Nigerians. This administration will use all the resources at its disposal to protect the lives and properties of all Nigerians, and not just prominent Nigerians or those who make headlines.
The federal government, he maintained, will continue to be tough on the menace of corruption as efforts are being intensified towards fulfilling the promise of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years.
I want to reassure you that Nigeria is open for business, as no country in the world has achieved rapid economic growth without significant foreign direct investment. We are keeping our currency steady and are adopting pro-business policies to encourage private sector investment. Policies put in place to support farmers and small businesses are yielding positive results, and we are determined to integrate them into the larger economy.
Both the coordinator of the Buhari campaign organization, Danladi Pasali, and the national grand patron, Senator Abba Ali, reassured Nigerians that the Buhari administration will indeed take Nigeria to the next level of development for a sustainable future of the country.
We are ever ready to continue supporting this administration to actualize its set objectives, policies, principles, so as to consolidate on the previous feast, as the journey to the next level of our country development is on the right track.
We shall continue to pray for you and for this country so that you leave a legacy in this country that will never be forgotten.
Some members of the organization speak on their takeaways from the interactive session with the president.
I'm taking away from the president's promise and commitments that he is going to continue and he will not relent in his effort to provide security and welfare to Nigerians. And very sure the president will not fail the nation.
He is an excellent person. Nigeria should be very grateful to have him now as the leader driving the country. And I believe that Sky will be the starting point.
And whenever his term finishes, whoever he so wishes to continue his foundation, we are behind that person.
The Buhari campaign organization has proposed the establishment of Muhammadu Buhari Foundation as a deliberate attempt towards upholding and sustaining the ideals and principles of the Nigerian leader for a greater Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Senate has called on the service chiefs to immediately commence regular patrol along the highways as part of measures to ensure security of lives and property on the roads. This resolution followed a motion that drew the attention of the Senate to the recent murder of Olufunke Olakunrin along the Akure-Ore Expressway. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports.
It was the first plenary of the week, and senators appeared poised for the day's legislative business. The first issue considered was the murder of Olufunke Olakunrin. Senator Ayo Akinyelure drew the attention of the Senate to that incident. The legislators condemned the murder and urged the Inspector General of Police to intensify efforts in apprehending and prosecuting the perpetrators, while the federal government should establish emergency medical units on the Kaduna-Zaria-Kano road as moved by Senator Suleiman Kwari.
Federal Road Maintenance Agency FEMA to accelerate action in maintaining potholes on major federal highways across the country where most of the perpetrators of this evil act of kidnapping and attacks or innocent citizens always hide.
That we all have the role to play in ensuring that that normality is restored.
We shouldn't center it, and we should not try as much as possible to make it look as if it is a particular set of people that do this thing.
We should have one robust national summit on the security situation of this country.
Senator Jibrin Barau drew the attention of the Senate to the notice of strike issued by the Non-Academic Staff Union and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities. The motion advised that government should engage the unions to avert the impending strike. The issue of education continued on the floor, following the motion by Senator Ekon Iyayenyi on the need for government to provide training for teachers and basic computer facilities in public schools.
Call on the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities to explore a resolution of their grievances by instituting productive dialogue with the Academic Staff Union of Universities.
Urge the government to formulate a policy for the building and equipping of computer labs in all primary schools in Nigeria.
County today, there are some primary schools and even secondary schools students that have not even seen what is called computer.
Austerity will judge us harshly if we allow the public school system to collapse in this country.
So I think the earlier we go into this aspect of computer education into our schools, the better.
Government should promote science and technology.
Senate observed a minute silence in honor of the late Olufunke Olakunrin and those who lost their lives along the Kaduna-Zaria-Kano road. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, met with a delegation from the Nigerian Surveyors Council of Nigeria, during which Senator Lawan assured them of complementing the fight against quacks in the profession through the amendment of the Surveyors Council of Nigeria Act. He also met with the top management staff of Transmission Company of Nigeria, who sought the support of the Senate in capitalizing electricity distribution companies.
Why don't we sell off the 40% to foreign investors who have the funds and the technical know-how?
President of the Senate also granted audience to the commissioners of the Public Complaint Commission who were on a congratulatory visit from the National Assembly. Ignatius Nko, NTA News.
Retired senior military and security officers of Katsina State extraction have advocated for a robust approach and genuine dialogue in addressing security challenges confronting the frontline states in the northwest geopolitical zone. This was the consensus of experts and critical stakeholders at the Security Interactive Summit convened in Katsina. Correspondent Bashir Ibrahim Nababa has the report.
Communities in the 8 frontline local government areas of Katsina State have been under frequent attacks by armed bandits, which has resulted in the loss of lives and property worth millions of naira. Worried by the development, former top military, police and other security personnel from the state converged on Katsina to forge a common front in finding lasting solutions to insecurity in the state. Chairman of the occasion and former military governor of Sokoto State, Brigadier General Ahmad Muhammad Daku, described security as everybody's business, hence their decision to interface and come out with a template that will assist government and security agencies in restoring peace.
From our deliberation, they will find that there is something useful for them, which will help them towards achieving security for the nation or for the state.
In their separate remarks, the former Director General, National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Maharazu Ziga, and Assistant Inspector General of Police, Dalami Aradwa, noted that government needs to adopt short, medium, and long-term measures to contain the situation.
In as much as the government is doing the best it can, I assure you she will not succeed until, of course, it gets the cooperation of others.
The convener of the summit and chairman Awareness for Good Leadership, Peace and Development, Abdullahi Aliyu, expressed hope that with input from the caliber of personalities in attendance, peace will return in the affected areas. In Katsina, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
Following the peace initiatives introduced by the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria with the support of the Nigerian Police Force, Adamawa State Command, 5 suspected kidnappers have been willingly surrendered their weapons and vowed not to engage anymore in what they described as an ungodly act. Bilkisu Abubakar reports that this was when the State Commissioner of Police, Adamu Audu Madaiki, paraded some suspected Sheila boys.
The repentant kidnappers who hailed from Mayero village of some local government area of Adamawa State have voluntarily surrendered following the intervention of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. The notorious kidnappers handed over their weapons, including 5 AK-47. This development compelled the Nigerian police to honor the Miyetti Allah Association in the state under the leadership of Alhaji Jawoji Isa and Divisional Police Officer of Gombe Local Government Area in appreciation of their effort.
In compliance with the IGP directives on every command CP to emphasize community policing, through our effort in community policing, we've been liaising with so many stakeholders, starting from the Miyetti Allah group, to the Tabuta Plako group, the Honda Association, and the rest of them.
Similarly, the Adamawa State Police Command has paraded 40 Sheila boys who specialize in extortion of money, snatching of mobile phones and other valuables, as well as robbery, as attested by some of their victims. The suspected Sheila boys were arrested with a large quantity of soak and dye chemicals, 250 grams of tramadol, rubber solution, weapons, among others. In Yola, Bilkisu Abubakar, NTA News.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has charged officers and soldiers at the Kuyilo Super Camp in Benangwari to be decisive and ruthless in dealing with bandits in the area. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the Army Chief gave the directives while on an operational visit to the newly established camp in Benangwari, Kaduna State.
Vast ungoverned land spanning into hectares and enhanced ecosystem suitable for agriculture. But farming was not possible here in the past due to bandits and other criminal elements operating in parts of the northwest. These are troops from the 1 Division at the Kuyelo Super Camp. Their mission is to provide aggressive response to threats within their general area of responsibility. With the establishment of the camp, the area once deserted is regaining peace and socio-economic activities. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, is here to inspect and appraise the super camp and address troops.
I have already directed your General Officer Commanding, you must move deep into wherever they are identified, and you must develop the intelligence capability to penetrate. Is that clear? Yes, sir. And you must get them down and deal with them decisively.
While assuring them of improved welfare in camps and barracks, General Buratai promised more equipment to step up patrols to further secure life and property in the area.
We're happy with the results we're having, both in the northeast and in the northwest here, because of the new posture.
With the setup and establishment of the standby force, farming activities have resumed in most of the areas visited. From Birnin in Kaduna State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Adamawa State Governor Ahmad Umar Fintiri has commended the Buhari administration for restoring peace in the northeast geopolitical zone and Adamawa State in particular. He stated this while exchanging views with the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, in Abuja. Governor Fintiri said socio-economic activities have picked up significantly in Adamawa State and environs with sustained security patrols.
Of the insecurity has gone down 70% since in the last 6-7 weeks in the state. That is not happening, but because we've been in collaboration with elders and leaders in the state, with the security agencies, and they've been doing their best. Today, most of the states are sleeping with two of their eyes closed.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, said the federal government will utilize the agrarian potentials of the northeast geopolitical zone to improve the livelihood of the people.
With a lot of fertile arable land, and we believe that we will key into major government policies and projects so that at least our people will be able to appreciate and appropriate the benefits that should accrue to them.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. The federal government has restated its resolve towards sustaining efforts at enhancing the health status of the country in order to guarantee the health and well-being of the citizenry for national growth and development. President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave the assurance while receiving the executive members of the Nigerian Medical Association, noted that meeting the health needs of Nigerians is not a matter of choice. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
The Nigerian Medical Association, led by its president, Dr. Francis Faduyule, is here to not only appreciate the Buhari presidency for the numerous achievements recorded in the nation's health sector in the last 4 years, but reassure the government of sustained partnership in its quest towards improving the health of Nigerians. President Muhammadu Buhari, who noted with delight the continued support, understanding and cooperation of the association to his administration, promised to spare no efforts at ensuring that healthcare is affordable, accessible, and effective. This, he said, is necessary towards meeting the health needs of Nigerians as well as reversing medical tourism abroad.
Under this system, the most important thing is healthcare. Service to the majority of Nigerians that trusted us.
President Buhari said the federal government is also committed to doing whatever it takes towards achieving and sustaining peace and security with a view to ensuring that desired services can be delivered effectively in the health and other critical sectors of the economy for a prosperous Nigeria.
If you don't secure a country or an establishment or institution, you can't manage it. So the first thing is security.
President of the Nigerian Medical Association, Dr. Francis Faduyule, attributed the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari for a second term of office to efforts made by the government towards repositioning the country, especially the health sector.
As you start the second tenure in office, we want to assure you that the Nigerian Medical Association is a partner in progress for the improvement of health of Nigerians and other laudable programs of your administration.
Dr. Faduyule, who made a case for, amongst others, establishment of a health bank, import duty waiver on medical equipment, strengthening of primary health care, and making enrollment into the National Health Insurance Scheme mandatory for all Nigerians, announced plans for a National Health Summit in Abuja.
The summit is expected to set the health agenda in key areas and develop a blueprint and practical framework for reforming and improving Nigerian health system. Key areas to be considered include stemming the tide of brain drain, ensuring harmony within professional groups in health, reversing medical tourism, and make Nigeria a medical tourist destination with an overall impact of improving the national health indices and social safety net.
The Nigerian Medical Association, through its Social Health Safety Net initiative, tagged Project 5x3, is seeking to provide basic health coverage for 5 million Nigerians over the next 3 years. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Presidential Election Petition Court exonerates INEC on electronic transmission of 2019 results. Stay with us for details shortly.
see the best of African as NTA, Africa's largest television network and hotspots, Nigeria's foremost sports production and marketing company, bring you all 52 matches of the Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt 2019 live from June 21 to July 19, 2019. Yes, all 52 games will hit your screens in crystal clear digital quality. It's your guarantee of a memorable viewing experience and a wonderful cost-effective opportunity for corporate Nigeria to reach tens of millions of Nigerians. For sponsorship and commercial support, contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. Hot Sports, masters of the game. NTA, you can't beat the reach.
Wakapa, follow! Kitty. He doesn't want overripe things. Dudu by nature. Black is beautiful. Oh, talk to the hand. The baby is black. Ask her. Uche, quickly send me the baby video.
Okay, ma.
Yeah, he's playing. Oh my goodness. He's loving it. Oh, thank you. Welcome. Bye.
Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
The entire family of Adegbite cordially invites the general public to the 80th birthday Thanksgiving service of our father, Moses Adedino Adegbite, JP, which will come up as follows. Date, Wednesday, 17 July 2019. Venue, Omoyele Methodist Church, Nigeria. FDT, Afijo Local Government, Oyo State. Time, 12 noon. You are all invited to this important celebration. Bishop STV Adegbite, Bishop Abayomi Adegbite, announcers for the family.
I need a product that I can really trust to restore my skin's natural glow.
Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion containing unique berry extracts and UV protection to restore your natural glow and care for your skin.
Hello, here to pick up your sister? Mommy? Wow, such beautiful glowing skin.
Reveal your natural glow with Natural Fairness Body Lotion from Nivea.
Maggie Signature. Better love done set with new. Maggie Signature. Tomato, bay leaves, onions, pepper. It's a complete cooking mix. Maggie Signature. Watch your love with flavor full from mouth watering jollof.
It's my party jollof.
It's my signature.
It's our signature.
New Maggie Signature. The complete cooking mix comes in jollof, pottage, and mere variants.
Activate your life, be who you want to be. Time to get active. Yes, the time is now. Come on, get active. Yes, you can do it if you try.
Start an active life with the power of vegetables and fruits. Chivita Active. Be active. Do more.
Thank you for remaining with the NTA. A leading opponent of the Buhari administration and a Kano-based renowned First Republic politician, Alhaji Tanko Yakase, has faulted former President Olusegun Obasanjo's letter to President Muhammad Buhari, describing it as selfish and unpatriotic, capable of affecting the unity of the country. Alhaji Tanko Yakase says former President Obasanjo must weigh implications of some of his actions before arriving at conclusions. Awal Salisu has the report.
The recent letter written by former President Olusegun Obasanjo to President Muhammadu Buhari has continued to generate reactions among Nigerians. Among them, a Kano-based renowned politician and elder statesman Alhaji Tanko Yakase said the intention of the former president was in bad taste and such action is capable of overheating the polity. He said as a former leader, Obasanjo must put the nation first above any interest. He said the letter tended to undermine the unity of Nigeria by calling for convening another national conference, especially at this critical moment in the Nigerian history.
I noticed
that whenever Obasanjo decided to write to a president, he will overload his letter with political issues that are highly sensitive, that are highly capable of inciting a section of the country against the other. Issues that will undermine national unity.
Alhaji Tanko Yakase advised former President Obasanjo to always reach out to President Buhari in formal way instead of bringing critical issues to public domain. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
The House of Representatives at Tuesday's plenary urged the federal government to put in place more stringent measures to address security on the highways across the country. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that the resolution followed a motion of urgent public importance brought before the House of Representatives by Isaac Adedayo and 9 others.
The House of Representatives expressed concern over the spate of insecurity on the highways across the country, with reference to the killing of Olufunke Olakunrin on Benin Ore Road on the 12th of this month.
I want to beg of this House to please do something urgent to curb this kind of thing in our society.
We need to rise and ensure the security of life and property is paramount. It's across this nation.
If we fight corruption, it's going to reduce this problem we are having. It's going to reduce crime. It's going to improve on welfare of the people.
On the killings of Nigerians in Libya, the House urged the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Diaspora Commission to quickly intervene in the matter to ensure protection of lives and property of Nigerians in Libya after amendments on the prayers.
To appeal to the Nigerian embassy in Libya to issue emergency travel documents to people identified as Nigerians. So we need to, as a national policy, find a way of assisting them to get back.
I would suggest that it should be the responsibility of the mission, Nigerian mission in Libya, to take charge so that we can minimize the loss of lives, taking into consideration what happened recently in South Africa.
Those in support of the motion as amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it.
Considering Nigeria as the largest economy in Africa, the House, in a motion by Representative Odebumi Olusegun Dokun from Oyo State, believes adequate policies are needed to drive the African Continental Free Trade Agreement to improve manufacturing of products, export activities, and also to ensure the country is not turned into dumping ground for unwanted goods.
Urge the federal government to set machineries in motion to ensure that Nigeria optimizes the expected benefit from the agreement.
Scourge of rape and other sexual offences against children, and the need to increase personnel of the Nigerian police force and capacity building of the officers for effective operation, amongst other motions, were also adopted. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
To the judiciary now, the Presidential Election Petition Court has admitted in evidence the electronically generated evidence, where INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu cleared the air that election results for 2019 will not be transmitted electronically due to communication challenges. Counsel to President Muhammadu Buhari, Alex Zio SAN, took the leave of the court to tender in evidence the compact disc and the document containing its certification. Dele Atumbi has the report.
The two documents which the Presidential Election Petition Court admitted in evidence were tendered during the cross-examination of the spokesman of the first petitioner, Atiku Abubakar. The video clip contained an interview which the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, granted on February 6, 2019. In the disc played in the opened court, Professor Yakubu identified 4 grounds why the electoral body would not be able to transmit election results electronically. Professor Yakubu averred that this is due to identified blind spots in which some parts of Nigeria were not covered by any communications network. It will be difficult to transmit election results electronically. Professor Yakubu also identified security challenge regarding cybercrime as another reason for the Commission's inability to transmit election results electronically. While counsel to INEC Usman Ustaz SAN and Akinolu Jimmy SAN counsel to the APC did not object to the admissibility of the evidence, counsel to the petitioners Chris Uche SAN objected to the admissibility of the two documents. PDP and its candidate Atiku Abubakar have called additional 9 witnesses at the hearing of the petition. This brings to 49 the witnesses the petitioners have called since the commencement of the hearing of the substantive matter.
He stated the logistics aspect, the fact that not all the areas are covered by internet, and that if they do so, some places will not get it at all. And unfortunately, even Section 52 of the Electoral Act says you must never, and you can never send transmit election results electronically. It's prohibited. Yes, it's prohibited. And Supreme Court has decided that you cannot do it in Ikpeazu and Oti. So I don't know what we are quarreling about.
Other counsel in the matter declined comments. By the agreement of all counsel, the petitioners have 10 days to call their witnesses, and this Tuesday's hearing marks the 8th day. Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
10 persons, including 3 children and the owner of a building in the Limi area of Jos Metropolis, have so far been confirmed dead after the building collapsed. Correspondent Zerat Dingam visited the site of the incident and now reports.
In addition to the 7 casualties evacuated from the rubbles of the collapsed building yesterday, 4 more bodies have been evacuated, among which are 3 children who were confirmed dead, making a total of 10 dead people who are reported to have been buried, while 1 person is said to be at the intensive care unit of the Bingham Teaching Hospital.
Today in the morning, around 6:30, the evacuation process started. 3 children were evacuated, and in the last 15 minutes, an adult was evacuated too. They are all not responding.
The governor of Plateau State represented, who was there to sympathize with the people of the community, also assured them of government's decisions to put adequate machinery in place to forestall future occurrences.
These things that happen are not the creation of anybody, but we ourselves. From now onwards, JMDB, Lands and Survey, and the security agencies will move street to street, identify buildings that are not properly structured, mark them for demolition.
Both the security officials and disaster management teams are still working on the site for proper and complete evacuation of the site. In Jos, Zenra Dingmun, NTA News.
The death of a Nigerian, Dr. Elizabeth Chukwu, in South Africa has continued to generate reactions on the prevalence of such occurrences, despite efforts to put a stop to it. To follow up on the recent case and also discuss new strategies of tackling xenophobic-related attacks on Nigerians, Chairman of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, visited the South African High Commissioner to Nigeria. Correspondent Makut Sarambacham has the report.
Chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, is at the South African High Commission in Nigeria to meet with the High Commissioner over the progress report on the alleged killing of a Nigerian, Dr. Elizabeth Ndubisi Chukwu, in South Africa. She is accompanied by the brother of the deceased, Dr. Chidi Ndubisi. After a closed-door meeting, Abike Dabiri Erewa and the acting High Commissioner briefed the media.
But we're here to appeal on behalf of the government and people of Nigeria and the family that for the sake of both countries, we need to know what happened to Madam Elizabeth. For the sake of the family, we need to get a closure to know how, why, when, and what happened to her.
The South African police services are working very closely with the staff and management of Emperor's Palace, the hotel in which Ms. Ndubisi Chukwu untimely lost her life. A video footage has been obtained. It is being studied, and we are awaiting the authorities to give us an update.
Outside the High Commission, a group of Nigerian youths are protesting what they call the unabated and unjustifiable killing of Nigerians in South Africa. They are assured that President Muhammadu Buhari has directed that the well-being of Nigerians be taken seriously, including the case of Elizabeth Chukwu, which is being handled at the highest level. In Abuja, Makut Simon Machon, NTA News.
Ahead of the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, the General Assembly of ECOWAS on Tripartite Social Dialogue Forum is working towards addressing key recent work deficits and unemployment in the region through the instrument of social dialogue. Delegates attending the three-day conference holding in Abuja are expected to examine proposals for restructuring the ECOWAS Social Dialogue Forum with a view to making it function more efficiently and effectively. Emmanuel Ayimiro reports.
Recently, African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement was signed to spur economic growth and open the African market to the world. With the challenges of capital flows, falling commodities and underemployment in the ECOWAS sub-region, delegates at the General Assembly are working out strategies on how to save the sub-region from further drifting into a dumping ground when the after implementation takes off.
The Continental Free Trade Agreement, there's no way you're going to address that if we do not look at issues of an appropriate forum that will facilitate this both at the continental level and at the sub-regional level, and ECOWAS is a key player here.
The social dialogue as one of the core pillars of the decent work agenda can play an important role in linking employment with trade and economic policies. It interacts with all parts of the economic and social development of a country.
We have a lot of work at hand to accomplish as a tripartite body to catch up with the rest of Africa and indeed the rest of the world.
ECOWAS has already packaged a 4-year draft decent work regional program to serve as impetus to job creation, social security, and improved working conditions for members of the sub-region.
In the course of this 3-day meeting also, you will be looking at the draft directive on minimum standards on harmonization of labor laws in the ECOWAS region, which will be presented to you for consideration and validation.
The conference ends on Thursday. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Let's now join Hingino in our Lagos Network Center for more stories on Network News. Hello, Hingino.
Thank you, Kudu, and welcome to Lagos. As a way of decongesting the courts, the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse is encouraging Nigerians with disputes in areas of property, administration of state, medical negligence, banking and insurance to come forward for settlement at no cost to the parties. The director, Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse, Adeyinka Aroyewun, at the opening of the settlement week, said the initiative is meant to supplement justice delivery by offering alternative options to resolve disputes. Vera Chimoba has more.
The settlement week of the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse is designed to impact the justice system of Lagos State through reduction of caseload in the courts. It is also to encourage early settlement of cases, create awareness of the alternative dispute resolution, and boost public confidence.
Considering the number of parties that have come into the center today, you can see that there is a definitive buy-in from the legal community and from the citizenry. It is definitely a cheaper method, it is faster, and parties come out as friends.
Facilitators who are legal experts mediate on a wide range of disputes, from employment, trade, family, succession, landlord and tenant brought by the parties.
Since we started having the settlement week, we've been able to settle so many cases, and we've been able to assist the courts in reducing the court docket.
The way they talk to us, talk to me and the tenant, the way they do everything, I like the way they do.
The Lagos Settlement Week is, however, not without challenges.
We need the assistance, or well, the contributions and cooperation of institutions by sending adequate representation of people who can take decisions during this settlement week.
Out of the 753 cases mediated on in 2018, 456 were settled. Among them are an administration of estate case, which had been in court for 29 years, and a bank claim of 1.8 billion naira. The Lagos Settlement Week is a joint initiative of the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse, Lagos State Judiciary, Lagos State Government, and the Nigerian Bar Association. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
Conscious of emerging innovations in information communications technology, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) is promoting the rollout of licensed infrastructure companies. NCC Executive Vice Chairman, in a message to the opening of the 2019 ICTEL Expo in Lagos, says the move is to support existing infrastructure of mobile networks across the country. Paul Omukago tells us more.
Focusing on exploring investment opportunities to herald the fourth industrial revolution are one part of the reasons experts in this hall are sharing knowledge on how to advance information communications technology and telecommunications. The NCC is at the forefront of rallying investors and other stakeholders in making Nigeria the #1 destination in Africa in the deployment of new technologies to drive socio-economic development. Represented by Head, Information and Reference Consumer Affairs Bureau, the Executive Vice Chairman says the Commission is not relenting in the construction of internet broadband infrastructure.
Nigeria has been at the forefront of adopting latest technologies. This is engendered by effective regulation of the industry by the NCC, and it feels good to state that our Nigerian story in the fourth industrial revolution is an exciting one, but more needs to be done.
Joshua Agbola is a codist, future skills activist, and a primary school pupil. He wants parents to encourage and invest in the technological development of children of his age, as the fourth industrial revolution requires individuals who are not only independent-minded, but fast thinkers who are creative.
The fourth industrial revolution is changing the way we live, work, and do business.
The very first thing is we need to move away from the idea that technology is a product. Technology is a business enabler.
The ICTEL Expo with the theme, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, the Nigerian Story, featured discussions and exhibitions. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
Academy for Health Development Ile-Ife, with the support of Partnership for Advocacy in Child and Family Health at Scale, presents the first annual Professor Babatunde Oshotimehin National Reproductive Health Legacy Forum with the theme Meeting Family Planning 2020 Goal with Nigeria, under the chairmanship of Professor Oladuso Jengbede and Professor Emmanuel Otolori as lecturer. The event will host panel discussion by Dr. Kayode Afolabi of the Federal Ministry of Health. Date Friday 19th July 2019 at 9 a.m. Venue Otumba Shibomi Balogun Conference Center, University of Ibadan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the daring and invincible Louis the Mosquito. Responsible for 200 malaria cases all on its own. Is there anything that can kill Louis? Morphine! Presenting Mortise Power Guard. Its powerful formula kills malaria mosquitoes fast. So, get Mortise Power Guard.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad. Or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Back in Abuja, the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, Christine Lagarde, has resigned. Lagarde's resignation takes effect from September the 12th, 2019. A statement says the IMF Executive Board has accepted her resignation from the IMF. Indigenous of Kula communities of Belema, Ofio, Ofioma and Ngoji in Akukutoru Council area of Rivers State have called on the Shell Petroleum Development Company to steer clear of Shell OML 25 and hand over to an indigenous contractor with capacity to develop its host communities. The communities disclosed these at a media briefing regarding the shutdown of OML 25. Diankume Ulolo reports.
OML 25, known as the Belema Flow Station, is operated by Shell Petroleum Development Company, SPDC. The facility consists of a gas plant and an oil flow station, which accounts for over 45,000 barrels of crude oil per day. The community, through its spokesman, Ibiosia Nat Sokubo, said the oil facility was shut down by the host communities of Belema, Ofeama, and Ngeje over SPDC failure to provide basic amenities.
There is no Kula man, Ofeama man, Ngeje man, or Belema man that is employed in SPDC.
Stakeholders from the community called on President Buhari and other relevant authorities to intervene in the alleged unfair treatment of the people.
Set up a special fact-finding committee to visit the area to see the level of neglect.
Belema Oil Producing Limited has a stake, about 7.something% in that stake. Let him give him the operatorship of that OML 25.
SPDC, in an email letter to NTA, says that the company commitment to the welfare in the Niger Delta remains unshaken. The host communities of OML 25, including Belema and Ofeama, have continued to benefit from contract award employment of unskilled labor. From Kula, in Akukutoru local government area of Rivers State, Yanukume Ulolo, NTA News.
Naomi Abuaku is in Maiduguri Network Center to give us some updates.
Kudu and welcome to Maiduguri. Palliative rehabilitation work has commenced on Gamboru Gala, the Ikwa Road, to ease movement of goods and services along one of the Trans-Sahara routes in the country. Muhammad Goni reports that Governor Babagana Umara was at Musini village in Gamboru Gala local government to inspect progress of work.
Maiduguri Gamboru Road is strategic and of economic importance not only to Borno and its neighboring states, but to the entire nation, considering that the route links the state to the Republic of Cameroon, Chad, Central Africa, and Sudan on this axis. Dozens of heavy-duty vehicles fly the road on a daily basis, conveying goods to and from the state to the neighboring countries and beyond, in spite of the security challenges, in addition to the commuter vehicles conveying passengers. The dilapidated condition of the road has been a major challenge to the users of the road, especially in the rainy season, which is why the ongoing rehabilitation work was seen as a relief.
It's not easy. From here to Gamboru is almost 220 kilometers. We are begging the governor to do something for us.
It is worthy of note, however, that the federal government has awarded contract for the reconstruction of the road. But just like in other related cases, the contractors could not mobilize to size, given the security challenges in the northeast as a reason.
I want to assure the community of these three local governments that this administration is determined to complete the road between Dukwa to Gamborongala in the next 2-3 years.
The governor inspected the ongoing rehabilitation work at Dukwa Holiday Resort and also performed the groundbreaking ceremony for rebuilding of 400 houses in Ajiri village in Mapa local government. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
That is it from Maiduguri. Kudu is back to you in Abuja. Good evening.
Thank you, Naomi. President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates His Royal Majesty Igwe Kingsley Chime on his 80th birthday, wishing him good health and strength as he continues to serve his community. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President joins family, friends, and associates of the Royal Father to celebrate the milestone, heralded by many years of dedication to professional development as a lawyer. President Buhari noted that good works and commitment to promoting values of peace, neighborliness, and diligence. The President also affirms that Igwe Kingsley's contribution to national development will always be appreciated and remembered by posterity, especially in sensitizing and mobilizing his domain for civic responsibilities. As the Royal Father turns on an octogenarian, President Buhari believes his wealth of wisdom will always be useful to governments and institutions for now and the future. The President prays that the Almighty God will bless Igwe Kingsley Chime with longer life to keep serving his community, the nation, and humanity. President Muhammadu Buhari has also extended heartfelt condolences to Senator Ahmed Mohamed Makarfi, former governor of Kaduna State and former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, on the death of his father, Alhaji Muhammadu Naiya Majidat Nzazo. The President also commiserates with the government and people of Kaduna State and Zazo Emirate on the passage of the Majidat Nzazo, who was a strong voice for his community. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says the President's prayers and thoughts are with the entire Makarfi family, friends and well-wishers as they mourn the illustrious community leader. President Buhari prays Almighty Allah to accept the soul of the departed and comfort those who mourn. Time now for a short break. We'll have more stories when we come back.
The African Continental Free Trade, recently signed by President Muhammadu Buhari, is the first this week on NTA Tuesday Live. What are the potentials in the Continental Free Trade? Find out on NTA Tuesday Live at 10:30 p.m. The program promises to be informative, educative, and incisive. Don't miss it.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the families of the victims of the building collapse in Jos Plateau State, which claimed lives. Reacting to the incident, President Buhari said he was greatly shocked at the unfortunate loss of lives and wished those injured quick recovery. Commiserating with the survivors of the accident and families of the dead, President Buhari prayed that God will comfort everyone affected by the sad incident. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President urged stakeholders in the building industry to find a lasting solution to the frequent incidents of building collapse across the country, emphasizing that the urgent need to address the issue of enforcing safety standards in buildings in order to forestall future tragedies. Amanzi Marcos has more on sports updates.
The Nigerian women Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
Now the weather prospects for Wednesday.
Hello and welcome. A quick look now at the weather forecast for Wednesday. In the morning, fair weather is expected across most parts of the country with slim chances of thunderstorms over Katsina and Kano. We also expect rains in parts of Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River and River States in the morning. But as we move into the afternoon and evening, conditions are more favorable for activities of rainfall over the south and thunderstorms over the central parts of the country. We also expect thunderstorms over the northeastern parts of the country, while the northwest is expected to be partly cloudy. Next now is our temperature forecast. Please stand by. Thanks for watching. I am Paul Ogba.
The weather update concludes network news for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.